Let's see here. I believe we are officially live. Good night, everybody. Or at least it's nighttime where I'm at. It's about 10 o'clock, so we're a little late today. A little late. We normally don't do one this late, but I've been going. You see me check my mic there to make sure I don't do the same mistake I always do. I've been doing a lot of yard work today, so haven't had much time. But here it is, about 10 o'clock, and I figured why not? Let's do a stream. I was kind of going through my head with ideas for streams tonight. I don't really have necessarily like a list that I follow. A lot of people think that my streams are like pre-planned in that way. Not really. Most of the time when I get on here to do a stream, I'm getting on here and talking about what I feel like is a relevant or good topic for that day. It's not really, it's not really planned out or anything like that. So tonight I was thinking, what could we do for tonight's stream, right? What could we do for tonight's stream? What would be a good stream? And I thought, you know what? Let's do a stream where we kind of sum up everything that has been taught here on this channel for the past, how long we've been doing this now, like 3 or 4 years. Let's do a stream where we just kind of sum up everything that we've ever talked about, everything that we've been talking about, and let's put it all together in a nice little neat package in one stream. So tonight we're going to be talking about recovery. I accidentally fucked up the title, but it's recovery from anxiety comes down to this, sitting in the fire. I'll have to edit that later. So really, all we're going to be doing tonight is I'm not going to be breaking down the two main keys, right? We do that every stream. I'm not going to be going into why this and why that and why this and why that. Instead, I'm just going to give one straightforward, to the point, as clear and as simple as I can make it stream, where if you want to know what anxiety recovery comes down to, what it all comes down to, this is it. Right, so we're not even going to be really mentioning the two main keys tonight, which for those of you who are curious is accept your thoughts and feelings instead of fighting with them and live your life. But we're not going to be getting into that tonight. We're just going to go straight to the point, as quickly and as simple as we possibly can. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Hope you guys enjoy it. Edward, what is up first in stream tonight? What's up, Sky? We got a pack chat tonight. Mike, let's see. Giant, what's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a minute. I'm first, been first for like 10 streams straight. Almost first, but we'll count it. We'll count it anyway, right? Amanda, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great night. D Block, Slow Jam, what is up, guys? Sanchez, Wonder Bro, Sanchez, how you doing, dude? My live sign fell. I don't know how. I guess the only thing I can think of, Nova's knocked it off the wall or something, so it's kind of like in an awkward spot right now. I didn't realize. It needs to kind of go up. I started it up here, but the glare off of all my lights made it unreadable. So I realized that, moved it down. It's still in a weird spot. D, what is up, dude? My funk was pretty intense at a team meeting this morning, but I was mindful not to add too much second fear. Awesome, Sky. Seems like you're learning a thing or two, right? Wow, to be honest with you guys, we don't really have to wait around too long because chat is packed, so we might as well go ahead and get started. So, again, let's jump into it. We are not going to be discussing this, that, and the other tonight. We are going to be putting anxiety recovery, right, and what you need to do in order to recover from your anxiety state as simple as possible. And I'm going to do that by using an analogy. Personally, I love analogies. So you'll see out beside the title there, I've got sitting in the fire. Now, this is what it all comes down to, okay? For years, months, weeks, I don't know how long you've been at this, you have taught your brain that there is some sort of danger, that there is something to fear, that there is something to be afraid of, and you do this through the use of negative behavior and compulsions. Every time you feel anxious, you do something to try to fight it off, whether that's something mentally, by trying to avoid the thoughts and block them out, which never works, or trying to argue with them, which never works, or whether that's something physically, like running to the bathroom, pacing around the house, making a quick exit, whatever the case may be. Mentally and physically, you try to do something to keep this anxiety at bay, right? Now, as the days, weeks, months, and years, right, have been going on, have been moving forward, you have lived this way. You have lived this way with your mental and physical behavior and compulsions to try to keep this anxiety at bay. And for the most part, It kind of works. You get that temporary relief, right? But you're living a pretty miserable existence with the anxiety, and I think that's, safe to say. At least I know I was living a pretty miserable existence with anxiety when I operated that way, always trying to do something to keep it at bay. Now, when we talk about recovery, all you need to really understand on an intellectual level is this. The more you do these things, mentally and physically, to get rid of the anxiety, the more you teach the brain that the anxiety is needed. So out beside the title there, I've got sitting in the fire, and this is what it'll all come down to. Whether we want to call it the 2 main keys or we want to call it Dr. Claire Week's acceptance, it'll all come down to sitting in the fire. This means, right, and I'm going to try to put this as simple as possible. This means that when you have high anxiety, when you have your moments of high anxiety, and maybe your moments are frequent, maybe they're infrequent, maybe they're somewhere in between. When you have your moments of high anxiety, you must sit with it. Now, this is a metaphor. You must sit with this fire until it burns out without making it go away yourself, right? Now, what do I mean by making it go away yourself? For weeks, months, days, years, however long it's been for you, anytime you've had inappropriate high levels of anxiety, you have done something to make it go away. Can we all be honest with ourselves for a second? Who wants to be honest with me tonight, right? Let's all be honest. We're all family here. Anytime, and I'm not saying you're doing that now. Hopefully you're not doing that now. But anytime you've had inappropriate high levels of anxiety, you have done things to make it go away, or try to do things to make it go away. Whether that be to disagree with that thought and fight with that thought for hours on end, whether that be to call that person and get that reassurance, whether that be to pace around the house, whether that be to put the game controller down and walk well, I'm too anxious, I get up and pace around and drink something, right? Or maybe it's that quick exit. You have done something, and you have continued to do something to try to make this inappropriate high anxiety go away that you are feeling in your body, that you are feeling in your mind, in the form of thoughts, in the form of symptoms. You have done something, or a lot of somethings, right? The list is probably long. Every time you feel this inappropriately high anxiety to try to make it go away. Now, through the days, weeks, and months and years of doing this, you have taught your brain that this danger exists. You have taught your brain that there is something to fear. You have taught your brain that the anxiety is justified. It never got the chance, and it never gets the chance, to see that this high anxiety, this panic, these symptoms, these thoughts are not needed. It has never gotten to see that because you've always done something or continue to do something to push it away, to get it to go away, to get it to stop. Whether that's fighting with the thoughts or some sort of physical or mental compulsion, you do not face the anxiety. Now, a lot of people, when they first hear about acceptance, they say, all I do throughout my entire life that I've been dealing with this is facing the anxiety. Wonder Bro, what do you mean I'm not facing the anxiety? You cannot say that you have ever truly faced anxiety if you continue to do things to make it go away, right? You cannot say that you've ever truly faced your anxiety if every time you get an intrusive thought, you do something to make that thought go away. You cannot say that you've ever truly faced your anxiety if every time you feel a physical symptom, you do something to make that physical symptom go away, or to soothe it, right, or to soothe those thoughts. So we get to a point where, whether we want to call it the 2 main keys or not, whether we want to call it acceptance or not, there has to be a true facing of the anxiety. There has to be a true facing of the anxiety. There can no longer be some sort of quick relief that you go for. There can no longer be some sort of mental or physical act that you do in order to get that relief. This is not true acceptance. This is not true facing. Take it from me. I spent years arguing with every thought that popped in my head, right? Because I wanted it to go away because it was causing me such high levels of anxiety. This kept me stuck. Sometimes I would get quick relief from those compulsions, but it kept me stuck, and it kept me in that cycle for a very, very long time. So How many people here are willing to be honest with themselves? Have you ever truly faced your anxiety? I don't mean grin and bear it and use compulsions to soothe yourself. I don't mean argue with that thought until that thought goes away. I don't mean call that person, that way the thought will go away. I don't mean grin and bear the physical symptoms but then go to the bathroom and make a quick exit in order to feel relief. No, I mean how many people here have truly faced their anxiety? Truly. And by that I mean sit with the fire. Sit in the fire until the fire burns out. Do nothing to stop it, right? If you look at the two main keys, which is accept the thoughts and feelings and no longer fight with them and just continue to live your life. That is the two main keys. What are they pointing at? If you look at acceptance, Dr. Claire Weeks, what is she pointing at? If you look at all these helpful things that you've ever heard, right? What are all these things pointing at? They're pointing at do nothing to hold back the anxiety. They're pointing at do nothing to soothe the anxiety. They're pointing at do nothing to get relief from the anxiety, right? The two main keys will tell you to let those thoughts and feelings just do what they will while you have an attitude of it is what it is, whatever, right? And then you just continue living your life. Dr. Claire Weeks will tell you to have an attitude of, okay, here comes first fear, thoughts and feelings. Don't add second fear, so have an attitude of acceptance. What are all these things pointing at? A lot of people are missing this point. I feel like a lot of people are missing this point. These things are not pointing at a quick exit. These things are not pointing at a quick relief. These things are pointing at a true cure, but the true cure comes from sitting with the fire and doing absolutely nothing to try to make it go away. That means when you have an intrusive thought, there's no more trying to comfort yourself by telling yourself, oh, here's all the reasons that won't happen, and oh my God, if that does, I better call this person to make sure that doesn't happen. That you can't go that route with true acceptance, right? The brain will never learn that that thought is not a true danger. True acceptance does not mean, okay, I've got a physical feeling, I'm telling myself that I'm accepting it, but I'm going to exit the room very quickly so I can get some relief, right? The brain will never learn that that physical feeling or that situation or that room was not a real danger because you took the quick exit. The brain will never learn that intrusive thought is not a real tiger because you got reassurance and you made it go away through getting reassurance or whatever it is you do. You see, true acceptance will always point at doing nothing, right? Now, there was a video that I made some years back. There was a video that I made some years back entitled Do Nothing, and people love that video. And basically in that video, I'm saying, if you want to overcome anxiety, do absolutely nothing against your anxiety, okay? Now, I don't mean go sit in a corner somewhere. But I mean against the anxiety, the symptoms, the thoughts, do absolutely nothing against them. Don't try to push them away. Don't try to get relief from them. A thought says bad thing's going to happen. You say okay, right? True acceptance, guys, right? True acceptance is going to always come down to sitting in the fire until the fire burns out. Notice what I said there, right? Sitting in the fire until the fire burns out on its own. Now this is crucial. This is a crucial understanding. If you miss the point here, you're going to miss the mark. Sitting in the fire until the fire burns out on its own. If you don't tack that end on there on its own, you will miss the mark every single time. Because here's the thing. A lot of people are going around claiming that they're facing anxiety and that they're sitting in the fire, so to speak, but they're doing little things to get relief. They're fighting with that thought. They're calling that person, getting that reassurance. They're avoiding that situation. They're right before they panic, they go and they call a friend to calm them down, right? They're not sitting with the fire. They're doing something to put the fire out themselves. Here's the problem. Every time you do something to try to stop that thought or try to stop that discomfort, that anxiety, you might think that you're putting the fire out because you get that quick relief, right? But what you're actually doing is you're dousing it in gasoline and then it comes back stronger, right? So understand that if you miss that little injury mark right there, you're going to miss the mark every single time. You must sit with the fire until the fire puts itself out. I didn't say you must sit with the fire and then you put it out. No, I said you got to sit with that fire until it puts itself out. That means no going for the quick relief. That means no going for the quick exit, right? That means I'm going to sit with this thought that's got me so triggered that I just want to lose my mind right now. But I'm going to sit with it and not try to get reassurance, not try to make it go away. I'm just going to say, fuck it, it is what it is, right? And I'm going to sit with it no matter how hard it slams until the fire goes out on its own, because it will. Maybe not as quickly as you would like. I can almost guarantee not as quickly as you would like. But that fire, whether it's a sticky thought, whether it's a strong physical feeling because of the situation you're in, right? That fire will go out, right? You don't need to put it out. That fire will go out on its own if you keep that it is what it is attitude and just carry on living. Just carry on living right through it. Don't try to do anything to stop it. Just carry on living right through it. That fire will go out on its own. And when the fire starts to go out on its own, you start to make so many realizations. I never had to do any of those rituals to get relief. I just had to let it go out on its own. I never had to stop living or make that quick exit or change my whole life in order for this fire to go away. It went out on its own. That sticky thought that I thought would never stop bothering me, it stopped bothering me. I didn't have to do anything, right? Once you start to make that realization, now you're on the path of true acceptance. Now you're letting the fire burn out on its own. See, what you've been doing all these years is putting it out yourself with rituals, compulsions, reassurance, arguing, fighting, trying to block the thoughts out. You've been getting that quick relief that way all these years. But guess what? All you've really been doing is pouring gasoline on the fire. That's all you've been doing. That's what you continue to do. If you want to truly teach the brain that this danger does not exist and that the anxiety is not needed, you've got to let the fire go out on its own. There's no more fighting. There's no more this. There's no more that. Whatever feelings I have, whatever thoughts I have, I'm going to do nothing in the physical world or the mental world to try to make it stop. I'm just going to say it is what it is, live my life, and accept it. Then you start to realize that it was all these behaviors, these negative behaviors, these rituals, these compulsions, the fighting with the mind. You start to realize that this is what's kept you a prisoner for so long, right? I understand that you thought you were doing yourself a favor. I get that. It's really tempting to take the quick relief path, right? I understand. But if you want to make true progress, if you want to get to a point where the brain truly starts to understand and make the connections and set your anxiety levels lower, there can be no more putting out of the fire from your end. It's all got to be done. The fire's got to take care of itself. You can no longer put it out. Let the fire put itself out. So let's give an example. Next time you're sitting there and you've got this intrusive thought that is causing, I'm trying to think of a good way to put it, causing just an ungodly amount of anxiety, and you so desperately want to pick up the phone, call that person that the intrusive thought is about and get reassurance, or you want to cancel that thing, right, so that the intrusive thought will leave you alone. Next time you want to do that, understand that you can do that if you want, but you're just going to make the fire come back stronger, right? And I'm a little stuffy tonight. My allergies is acting up today, but you're just going to make that fire come back stronger. Now, it's easier to go that route in the moment with the negative behaviors, right? But if you ever want to truly overcome this thing, then you've truly got to start facing your thoughts and feelings, which means you can do nothing against them. You've got to admit defeat, right? By admitting defeat, you become the winner. By admitting defeat, you get victory, right? You have to start letting that fire burn out on its own. Now, I know you might be sitting there for 2 hours with that negative intrusive thought just triggering the hell out of you. And I know that's not a fun experience. And my God, sometimes it just feels like the end of the damn world. I understand, right? And I know you're probably thinking to yourself, but if Wonder Bro, if you would just allow me to pick up the phone and get that reassurance that I need, or cancel that plan, or change this in order to make the thought go away, I'd feel better in 15 minutes. And you're wanting me to sit with it for, I don't know, 2 hours and wait for it to go away on its own? Why are you wanting me to suffer like that? I'm not wanting you to suffer like that. I'm wanting you to go through it so that we can get you out of this mess the right way, so that your brain can learn the right way. I understand how quickly you can get relief by fighting those thoughts off, by changing the plans or getting the reassurance or doing the compulsions. I understand how quickly you can get relief from the feelings by changing that situation, changing this, changing that, doing that physical compulsion or behavior. I understand all that. I understand how quickly you can get that relief when you do those things. And I understand when I ask you to not do those things and instead just let the fire burn out by itself, that I'm asking you to exchange quick relief for some intense experience for a bit. I understand what I'm asking you, but you got to understand, I'm not asking you to do that because I want to see you suffer. I'm asking you to do that because if you start to watch the fire burn out on its own without doing the compulsions, right, you will start to see the truth. And it's the truth that you eventually have to see if you really want to get yourself out of this mess, right? You can spend, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, you can spend the rest of your life fighting off these thoughts and feelings and never truly facing them, or you can start to practice letting the fire burn out on its own, no matter how intense those experiences might be, and you can finally get out of this prison that you put yourself in, right? Those two options exist, and I'm not here to pressure anybody. If you're comfortable living the rest of your life with a bunch of negative behaviors and rituals and fighting the thought and feeling, and if you're comfortable doing that, if you want to spend the rest of your life doing that, I can't stop you, right? But if you're ready to truly get out of this self-made prison, it's going to take some intense experiences. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. But you will be free from this, right? So the main point of tonight's stream, anxiety recovery, will always come down to sitting in the fire. And the reason I say sitting in the fire and not beside the fire or something is because I know it feels like sitting in a literal fire. I know, right? But it all comes down to this: sitting in the fire until the fire burns itself out and you didn't do anything to try to fight with it or stop it. You let the thoughts say whatever, you let the feeling do whatever, and you just did your own thing. You let the fire happen and you didn't try to put it out, you just kept living, right? You didn't reach for that compulsion, that ritual, that negative behavior. Once you do it this way, once you really start to do it this way, then you will start to make true progress. But as long as you go for that quick relief, we're not going to get very far. That's just me being completely honest with you. As long as you always do something to try to make the anxiety go away, whether that be physically or mentally, you are always going to continue to send the wrong messages to your brain. And that's just how the brain works. I didn't make the rules. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, right? Don't shoot the messenger, right? So, again, I know it's tough, and that's an understatement, right? That is an understatement. I know it's tough. I know it's not fun. I know it's extremely difficult sometimes, but I'm just telling you how the brain works. If you want to get to a point where you can say you're truly facing your anxiety, you have to face those thoughts and feelings without doing anything to try to get relief from them. And then the fire will burn itself out, and your brain will start to form new connections, and you'll start to live the life that you've always wanted to live. That's just the facts. That's just how the game is played. That's how this works. We can talk all day long about how tough it is and about how it sucks and about how nobody wants to do it and, you know, it's unfair. We can talk about that all day long, but that's not going to get us anywhere. This is how the game is played. This is how the brain works. Here's the facts. It's up to you now to do what you will with those facts. Next time you feel extremely anxious and panicky, are you going to try to put the fire out with everything that you've learned tonight, or are you just going to accept it, continue living your life, and not reach for that compulsion, that ritual, and send your brain the right message and let that fire burn out on its own? Or which way are you going to go, right? That choice is yours, and yours alone to make. But to end the point of tonight's stream, it's all going to come down to letting the fire burn itself out without you trying to stick your hand in it and do something about it. Because it's the trying to do something about it that is telling your brain, hey, they avoided that by doing this thing, so that anxiety is justified. Keep those levels high, right? My boy, I got a cough. I've got like a chest cold going on or something. I don't want to blow your eardrums, so give me a second. My boy Terry, I did not have the volume coming through my headphones. I had it set up coming through my speakers for some reason, so that probably sounded weird to you guys. Let me adjust that. Terry, dude, thank you so much for your $50 tip, man. I appreciate you taking us to Tip Goal all by yourself tonight. Thank you so much, Terry. You are the man, dude. You are the man. Hope you've been doing good. I didn't even know you were here. Thank you so much, Terry. Can we show Terry some love in the chat, dude? This man deserves it. He's one of my biggest supporters. Can we get like a wall of emojis going for Terry, please? Anyway, that spooked me a little bit coming out of my speakers. If you want to truly face your anxiety, you have to face it without trying to fight it, which means without trying to do the compulsions with me, which means without trying to get that quick relief. So can we see, I want to physically, visually see how many people in chat. Can we get a show of hands? You know the little emojis that do this? Can we get one of those? I want a show of hands in chat to see how many people are ready to truly face their anxiety and accept their anxiety. Now, I know for so long you have convinced yourself that you've been facing your anxiety. But if you're honest with yourself, you probably still go for that quick relief, right? You probably still do the physical and mental fighting and compulsions and rituals and behaviors to get that quick relief, right? I'm not trying to shame you. I just want you to wake up, right? I want to see a show of hands who's ready to truly face their anxiety, right? I want to see a show of hands on who's ready to truly face their anxiety, to truly face it. No more quick relief. No more negative behavior, no more compulsion, no more ritual. Truly face their anxiety. I want to see who's ready to truly face their anxiety, right? Don't get caught in the cycle of, yeah, I'm all for acceptance. I love acceptance. I love Dr. Claire Weeks. I love this whole idea of acceptance. This sounds great, man. I love it. I love everything about it. And then turn around and still be using quick relief methods. And then turn around and still be using compulsions and rituals and fighting with the thought and trying to make the thought go away. Don't fall into that, because a lot of people fall into that. A lot of people fall into the, I love Dr. Claire Weeks. I love acceptance. I love everything about it. I love this fat dude named Wonder Bro on YouTube. I love everything that I'm hearing. But they're still using the quick relief. They're still going for the compulsions. They're still going for the behaviors. When anxiety gets high, they hit the exit. They leave the room. When anxiety gets high and that thought gets sticky, they call for that reassurance. When the thought won't go away, oh fuck, I need to message this person and make sure this thought's not going to happen. And you know, a lot of people, okay, and the only reason I know this is because I was one of these people for a long time. A lot of people fall victim to the whole, I love acceptance and I love everything about it and it sounds great and it sounds magical and it sounds wonderful, but then they're still going for the quick relief. That's not, you've never faced anxiety a day in your life if you're doing that, right? And again, I'm not saying that to shame you, because I know what you're going through and I know that shit's not easy. I'm saying that to open your eyes, right? And this is a good thing, because if you've made the realization here tonight that wow, he's right. I'm still doing little shit to try to get quick relief. I'm still doing little shit to try to turn off the thoughts and feelings, right? If you've made that realization here tonight, I don't want you to walk away from this stream thinking, well, damn, that sucks. I can't believe I've still been doing that this whole time. No, I want you to walk away with the realization of, okay, well, now I see where I'm going wrong. I've never been doing the advice. I've never been using acceptance. I'm still doing things to try to make those thoughts and feelings go away. That's a good realization to make. Because until you make that realization, no progress will ever be made. No progress will ever be made, because you will fall victim to that group of people that say, I love acceptance and I love everything about it and it all makes so much sense, but they're not actually doing it, right? It's no wonder they're still in the cycle. It's no wonder we keep going in circles. It's no wonder that acceptance makes logical sense to them, but they're not getting anywhere. It's no wonder that they're team acceptance, but they're not getting anywhere, right? It's no wonder. So if you've made the realization tonight that you're still not truly using acceptance because you're not letting that fire burn, right, and you're still trying to do things to get that quick relief, that's a great realization to make, because now we can finally get somewhere. Now we can finally start to use the advice. Now we can finally start to make some progress. Is it going to be the easiest thing that you've ever done? Nah, not even close. Is it going to be a comfortable thing? Nope. Is it going to be the highlight of your day when you have to sit with the fire instead of getting the quick relief? Definitely not. Is it going to be a pain in the ass? Probably so. Is it going to be pretty intense? Maybe at times. But guess what? The shit's worth it. The shit's worth it. And I'll tell you it's worth it. Because if it wasn't for sitting with the fire and canceling out all of my quick relief and not going that route anymore and just sitting with the fire, I would still be over in that very bed. Right there. You can't see it, but I can see it. I'd still be right over there in that bed, pissing in 2-liter bottles, dragging myself to the toilet, right? Trying my best to drag myself to the kitchen and maybe get a cold fucking hot dog out of the kitchen because I was dying from starvation, right? And then come back and get back in the same bed with 2 inches of dirt on my body, Googling how anxiety works and what can I do about it, and fighting with every thought that came in my head instead of letting it burn out, fighting with every feeling by laying in bed and hiding away from it. If I did not know that this shit is worth it, I would not be here telling you right now that it's worth it. It's worth it, right? Stop fighting the thoughts. I know the quick relief is tempting, but stop. Just agree with them. I know the anxiety is through the roof and you're about to lose your fucking mind sometimes, but just agree with it anyway. Eventually it's going to pop, and in a good way. The fire's going to go out and you're going to be like, wow, I didn't do anything to make that thought go away. And now it's not causing any signals. It's not causing any anxiety. Holy shit, I actually did what he said. I sat with that thought and just said, okay, whatever, it is what it is. And I didn't go to try to make it change or fight with it. And now I'm starting to feel it's having less of an impact on me. Holy shit, I see it working. And once you see it working, you'll gain the confidence, right? This applies to the feelings too. Before you're so quick to run out of that room or whatever physical compulsion you do, remind yourself, I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to sit with this, right? And then once you see it start to work, wow, I didn't do that, and it's starting to lose its hold on me, then we get the confidence going. Right? Right? So understand that it's going to be tough. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be probably, if we're being honest, one of the hardest things that you've had to do. But it's not worth continuing going the route of this quick relief, because you're going to have to spend the rest of your life like that. Do you always want to try to fight do you want to spend the rest of your life in a fucking boxing match with your anxiety, trying to always go the quick relief route with the thoughts and feelings? Or do you just want to have a short while that you've got to deal with some intense shit? Yes, but it's going to lead to this shit being behind you. Which do you want to do? Do you want to spend the rest of your life being somewhat comfortably miserable? Or do you want to go through just a small, short, bout of intense feeling, but do it the right way and get this shit put behind you once and for all? That's your two options. That's the only two options you've got. That's the only two options on the table, right? So make the choice, and I hope you make the right one. I'm here for you. The rest of this community is here for you. We'll do it, right, together. As a community, as a family, got each other's back. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to try to help you, right? But none of that's going to work unless you do. Unless you do. All right, you guys. So that was the point of tonight's stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. I remember which way the camera's pointed finally. Big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. We're going to switch on over to post-stream. I've got a cough again. I can feel it. There we go. Just one strong cough seemed to... Okay, that feels better. Anyway, I hope you did enjoy tonight's stream, guys. And if you did, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. We're going to read some comments. We're going to hang out with chat. I rambled on there for a bit. Wow, how long was that? Almost 35 minutes worth of rambling. I hope somebody takes something from it, and I hope it makes you realize that, yes, maybe you've not been using acceptance this whole time, and that's okay, but now it's time, right? Now it's freaking time, dude. I hope somebody walks away from this stream with that realization because, that was really the whole point of tonight's stream, is to make people realize, hey, here's what it comes down to. Here's what it comes down to, and it's completely up to you if you want to admit that you're not doing it and then start doing it, right? We support you. We got your back. Let's put on some Miami Vice from my boy Sanchez. We're going to have to sit through an ad there real quick. Lemon tea with honey, Wonder Bro. That actually does sound soothing. Does Mountain Dew count? Does that count? Let's see. Where's my music at? There's my music. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. So cool to be on a stream. You're killing it. Keep preaching. I appreciate that. Thank you. You got me all pumped. Hey, there comes a point in everyone's journey where they're like, shit, I've not really been using acceptance, right? And once you reach that point, that's not a bad thing. You have to reach that point in order to say, well, if I've not really been using it, then I think it's time to start. Feel it to heal it. I love it, Terry. What's up, Kate? Hope you're having a great night. We got a hands up from Know You're Right. It says, I'm scared shitless, though. It's okay if you go into this scared shitless. That's okay. You know how the brain works. You watched the stream tonight. You know why it works, how it works. You know all the facts and the science behind it. Now it's just a matter of saying, hey, my desire for living a better life is going to outweigh my desire for getting this quick relief, and I'm going to do it the right way. So choice is yours to make. It's always been your choice to make, but... Hope you're doing great tonight, Slow Jam. What is up, Maddie? How are you doing, Maddie? I'm a little late to the party. Sounds like it was a good one. Man, I don't know. I got on the topic and I was in the zone, and sometimes that happens. I just get in the zone and I just don't shut up, and then I just cross my fingers and hope that it was a decent one. That's how that goes. It was a little bit more difficult tonight, because I could feel it in my chest, right? I could feel this nastiness in my chest. And my breathing's not the best, but I still think it was a pretty damn good stream. How are you doing tonight, D? Terry dropping bombs. I'm reading old comments, by the way. Yes, Terry's always dropping bombs, dude. Terry's the man. It was awesome, Wonder Bro. I appreciate that, Maddie. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm still reading old comments, see if we missed anything. We had Truth join earlier. It says, if you actually really listen and do what Chris is sharing with you on how to free yourself from the rabbit hole and to live your life, you will eventually get back to the real you, but better prepared. Okay. Just wanted to drop in and say thanks, Chris, for all your help. Absolutely, Truth, and I'm so glad that you're benefiting from this. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. I think that's just about it. Like Usher said, you gotta let it burn. There you go, slow jam. That's one way to put it. How you doing, D Block? What if you notice anxiety starting to fade but still feeling exhausted? So what? Right? So what? It's acceptance. What can you do about that exhaustion, right? I mean, you can try to fight it if you will, but I mean, I think you guys have pretty much caught on to the fact by now that fighting with any of your thoughts and feelings never works, right? Like, I think we can all agree upon that at this point. People want t-shirts when those Wonder Bro t-shirts drop, and people do want merch. I need to get that copyright. I need to get that. I need to secure the bag, man. Secure the copyright. I can't believe people actually want that. Kind of blows my mind. What's happening for you over the weekend, Wonder Bro? Is it like a holiday or something? Anytime somebody asks me, what are you doing this weekend or this week, I'm like, why are you asking? Is this a holiday that I've missed? Because nothing. Same old, same old. Same old, same old. Dude, the GTA video was so funny. It was so funny. Fuck you, anxiety. This message is endorsed by Wonder Bro Echo. Is grin and bear it a good attitude for facing my anxiety? Whatever you want, right? So, bit of a tricky one because different terms speak to different people in different ways. Whatever you want your little slogan to be, whatever you want your little go-to reminder to be, if it puts you in a place where you're not mentally fighting with the thoughts and feelings and you're not physically using compulsion. So basically, if your little slogan puts you in a better mindset to where you're not fighting the thoughts and feelings and you're letting the fire burn out on its own, then I don't care what your slogan is, right? So a lot of people do get caught up on terms and they're like, is this a good thing to tell myself? Is this a good thing to tell myself? Understand that terms don't necessarily carry any sort of magic with them, right? Like, a lot of people think, well, if I say the wrong thing, then the wrong thing's gonna happen. It's like this. You could say pink hairy elephant nuts, right? Your slogan could be pink hairy elephant nuts, as long as you are not fighting with your thoughts and feelings and you are just letting that fire burn out on its own and you're not doing the compulsions and the rituals and you're just continuing to live. I don't care what your slogan is, right? Now, sometimes we kind of dissect slogans and we talk about stupid ass ad. We talk about, well, don't get the wrong idea with this or don't get the wrong idea with that word or this word. But at the end of the day, right, it's going to come down to not fighting with your thoughts and feelings. And if whatever you want to tell yourself gets you to that place of not fighting with your thoughts and feelings, then who am I to say what's right and what's wrong as far as that's concerned, right? Now, if I had someone come in here and say, hey, Wonder Bro, every time I get an intrusive thought, is it okay if I yell to myself, stop? Then that I would say, no, don't do that, right? I felt my heart jump out of my chest on that one to the point where I just went completely silent. That was a big jump scare. I must have had that on 100 when I switched from my speakers to my headphones. Who was that? It's coming from Mike. It's coming from Mike. A $19 tip from Mike. And I promise I'll finish my point that I was about to make in just a second. $19 tip from Mike. I know what that means. I don't even have to. We don't even have to do the math on that. We know what's up. We hit 69. We hit 69. Thank you guys so much. So generous tonight. I appreciate you. Generous every night, man. We're at 136 day streak. Thank you guys so much. I love you. That helps me out a ton, guys, for real. Thank you. My point that I was going to make, though, before my heart stopped there, if I had somebody come in here and say, Wonder Bro, is it okay for me to shout at my negative intrusive thoughts, stop, when they come in? Then I would say something like, no, don't do that. That's gonna, fuck it all up, because you're trying to block the thought out, and that's just not going to work. It's going to have the opposite effect. Instead, you need to say, hello, thought. It is what it is. Be there if you will. You're allowed to be on my mind. I've got nothing to say, but you're allowed to be on my mind, and I'm going to wash the dishes while you're there, and I'm going to walk the dog while you're there, and I'm just going to keep an attitude of you can be there if you want, and then it pops back up, and you say again 5 seconds later, okay, thanks, I see you again, you can be there if you want. I would explain that to the person who came in here and said, is it okay if I yell stop to my thoughts? But if I have somebody who says, is it okay if I use this as a slogan? I don't care. As long as you're not fighting with those thoughts and feelings, right? You pick whatever works for you. I've given plenty examples here on the channel over the years, but ultimately you pick what speaks to you, man. As long as you're not trying to block out or push any thoughts away or trying to fight with any of the feelings, and you just got an attitude of, hey, whatever thoughts are there. I'm going to do the dishes. Whatever feelings are there. I'm not going to run for the exit, right, out of my room and pace around the house. As long as you're not fighting with those thoughts and feelings, dude, I do not care what little slogan you want to adopt, right? Just try to keep it rooted in acceptance. Let's see. Yes, Mike is confused in chat. Hey, I'm just reading them. I'm just reading them how I get them. That was from Mike. $19 tip from Mike, so we're giving all the credit to Mike. Man, I just ate, but I'm hungry. Returning appetite. I'm telling you, it's a good sign. If you're eating like a horse, it's a good sign that your nerves are starting to slow down a bit. It is a very good sign. I don't want you to become obsessed with looking for signs of healing, but just know that that is not a bad thing at all. That is not a bad thing at all.
Easily create your next video. Motion.
Sorry about that. I accidentally disconnected my microphone. But we're good now. Can everybody hear me? I have a very overly complex system of wires and cables that could probably be Could probably benefit from some cable management, but you know, which I did the other day, and it's a lot better. But still, things are like, I need longer cables. That's the problem. I'm always jerking things out of the wall. 44 and loves me some trampoline. Who doesn't, right? Sanchez is 69 and loves him some. Never mind. It was a good day and a bad day. Good because I had a blast at a trampoline park. Bad because family drama. Family drama does happen. Happens to us all, unfortunately. It's just one of those lovely parts of life, right? One of those lovely parts of being alive. I was wondering what was happening. Yeah, I fixed the, I did do some cable management the other day, actually, but the problem is my cables are too short, so I'm constantly accidentally jerking things out of the wall and out of the computer, and yeah, it can be a mess sometimes. How are you lovely people tonight? About to play some Apex and probably use some cereal. The question is what kind of cereal? That's the question. And yes, I'm absolutely going to judge you for the answer. I'm absolutely 110% going to judge you for the answer. When's your B-Day? Are you talking to me? When's my B-Day? September 20th. September 20th. I am one of those, dare do I say it, I am one of those dreaded Virgos that nobody seems to like. Jump, jump, jump around, jump around. Do we still have Terry? Is Terry still in the house? Terry, are you still present? Oh shit, Mother's Day is Sunday? This Sunday? No, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. Is it? Oh God, I am not prepared. Oh, fuck. Virgos are cool in my book. Thank you for that. I think zodiac signs are a bunch of bull, but I respect people who enjoy it. I'm Gemini. Sounds like something a Gemini would say. I'm joking. I'm joking. It is oh, fuck. I'm not prepared, dude. I'm not prepared. I didn't know that. Yep, still in the house. Just wanted to tell you, Terry. Again, thank you, dude. For I don't know how long ago it's been. It's not been that long ago. But the new router is amazing. Connection is great. I don't have the dropped connections really anymore. Thank you so much. I don't know. It just crossed my mind. Just happened to cross my mind. wanted to give you another thank you for that. Well, I got a couple days heads up at least. Here it is Thursday. I'm just now finding out about this. You would think this would be like a national holiday or something, and I am not prepared. I am not prepared for Mother's Day. I didn't realize. Here, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this. What's today? Thursday, so technically our next stream would be at the earliest Friday. So that's like 3 days, right? So what I'm gonna do is this, at least for the remainder of this stream, or yeah, the remainder of this stream and at least the next stream, we're just gonna erase tip goal. I need you guys to remember this. Okay, 136 was our streak, right? Don't forget it. 136. 136. Keep it in your mind. 136. Because we're going to backspace that. And we're going to do this. I'm going to dedicate the rest of this stream and our stream tomorrow and possibly the stream Saturday all to Mother's Day. Or at least that's the goal. And whatever I earn on stream, instead of putting in my pocket, I will give either all of it to I'll just Cash App her. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just Cash App my mother. Whatever I make, that's what we'll do. So, but don't forget the tip goal. 136. We're on day 136. I'm gonna write that down because I feel like we're gonna forget that, or at least I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna write it in like admins only chat or something. 136. There we go. So that's what we'll do because I am completely unprepared. So I will just dedicate the rest of my streams until Sunday to my mother, and I will just send her whatever I get. That'll be my Mother's Day. I'll be expecting a merch drop on Mother's Day. A Mother's Day merch drop. I'm just kidding everyone about the signs. I don't know anything about the signs, right? So I don't know really anything about the signs. I think it's funny. I think it's humorous. But a lot of people are very seriously dedicated to that. They like dedicate their entire life to that sort of thing. I don't know much about it personally. I don't know much about it. Just listening while also watching the movie Matrix Resurrection, is that right? I've never watched any of the Matrix. Fun fact. Fun fact. I thought you said Wonder Bro tip goal at first, and I was gonna be like, no, we already hit tip goal. We're on day 136. We already hit tip goal. We're gonna send. I'm gonna dedicate the rest of my streams from now until Mother's Day to my mother, and whatever I earn on stream will just go straight. I'll just Cash App it to her. I was raised by wolves and honey badgers, so meat and dirt will do. Meat and dirt, there you go. I don't see why you couldn't survive off meat and dirt. Also, if you do decide to tip, whether you're tipping just because you would normally tip or you want to tip for the Mother's Day thing, if you do decide to do that, Terry, man, thank you so much, Terry. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. If you do decide to tip, what I was gonna say is if you want to leave like a note or something for me to like relay the message, I can do that. Terry, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, dude. Can we give Terry a big round of applause? This dude is like one of my top supporters, man. He's such a good guy. Please give him a round of applause. When is Wonder Bro having a meet and greet? I seriously want to do that. People have recommended a book. People have recommended merch. But out of all these ideas, I think a meet and greet would be the most fun. I would love to meet you guys. That would be awesome. Or at least whoever could make it to something like that. I don't know how many people could actually come to something like that, though. We've got people all over the world here. All over the world. How many people are actually watching from the States? I don't know. We're about to get to the end of our music. There we go. Yeah, show Terry some love in the chat, guys. Show Terry some love. Here's what I'm going to do. Give me just a second. I'm going to grab a pen and paper here. I'm going to write down from now until Mother's Day. I'm going to write down who sends these tips, right, and the amount. And when I do Cash App her the entire sum, I'm also going to give her this and let her know, hey, look, here's your supporters. They don't even know you, Terry. They don't even know you, and they're out here supporting you. And if you have anything you want to say, I will write that down too. So, Terry, thank you for that, dude. I appreciate you. Sanchez! Sanchez! Just made the list. Thank you so much, Sanchez. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Of course, you had to do it, man. You couldn't help yourself. You had to do it. You had to do it. There we go. Thank you so much, Sanchez. I'm going to write you down. One moment. All right, I got you. I got you. Thank you, Sanchez. The story of the snail. Light touch to the siphon alone produced a strong gill withdrawal response, and this is sensitization effect lasted for several days. Interesting. Was this something in her book, or is this something that you've just kind of stumbled upon in random research? Cool fact, though. Interesting, cool little fact there. Sanchezito. Hey, I got you wrote down, Terry and Sanchez. I got you. I will, when I Cash App this, I will just fail to mention that the reason you tipped 19 was because you wanted to take the total to 69. I won't mention that part, but I've got your names written down, so. And I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for that. And thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Maddie, for mentioning that, because I was totally unaware and oblivious, apparently, to the fact that that was even coming up. And that's like one day that I don't want to miss. Could care less about most holidays. That's one of those that I don't want to miss. So thank you, Maddie, for reminding me, because that would have been horrible. I would have felt horrible for that. I would have felt awful. So thank you so much. To leave that part out. Don't worry, I'm one step ahead of you. I'm one step ahead of you, dude. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. Thank you again, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. her favorite thing in the world is to go to thrift stores. She loves to go to the local thrift store and just like, cause there's so much random shit in there, right? She loves to shop. She's a shopaholic. She'll be the first one to tell you that. You know, she just doesn't have the means to do that often. So I can almost guarantee that whatever we raise for Mother's Day will be going to some sort of shopping spree at the local thrift store or something. I don't know. But I do appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you're in the Discord, I'll try to take like a picture of her loot that she gets. You are contributing to my mother's probably unhealthy gnome collecting habit. That's okay. Personally, I'm not a fan of gnomes. I think they're terrifying. I think they're nightmare fuel. Whoever came up with the idea for a gnome, I don't know what they were thinking. But clearly not everybody shares that same opinion. My mother is one of those people. A very terrifying gnome collection. Past the hour mark, but I'm just gonna chill for a bit. I'm gonna let the fire burn next time. No second fear, no what ifs. Just fuck it. Stare anxiety in the eye. There you go, dude. There you go, Sky. Hey, we've all got your back, man. We've all got your back. Keep at it, and if you ever need some extra motivation, all you gotta do is pop in. All you gotta do is pop in. We've got you. We've got you. What kind of router did you end up getting? You would think I would remember this. I can see it from where I'm sitting, but I can't read the name of it. Actually, I've got it on my phone. Hold on. Came with like a cool little app that you could download to control everything from. My other router was so old and outdated that you could not do that. Let me pull it up. Well, where's it at? Archer? AX4400? I don't know, it's got like 8 antennas on it. Looks like some sort of alien device. But it took my download speed from like 20 megabytes a second to 240 megabytes a second. I was able to download something that was 51 gigabytes total in about 20 minutes the other day. Where normally that would take me about 8 hours. So to go from 8 hours to download something that large to about 20-30 minutes, wow, is all I can say about that. Just wow. Unfucking believable. Oh, I've heard of the Nighthawk. Yeah, that's a pretty popular one. I just couldn't believe that though. I didn't think the router actually made that big of a difference. I mean, I knew it made a difference, but I didn't think it would take me from 20 megs down to like 240 megs down. Like that's night and day. That's literally night and day. A difference, yeah, but that big of a difference just kind of blew me away. Blew me away. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Best approach would be when the anxiety is agitated in that you can't sit still and stuff. I feel like I'm losing it because it feels like restless all over. So you can't sit still and stuff, which is the fight or flight response. If you think about it, it's in the title there, right? So fight or flight, keyword there, flight response. I know it feels extremely uncomfortable to sit with the anxiety and just continue doing your own thing. It kind of wants to force you to get up and like pace around or something. The more you practice just sitting with it and letting it burn out, the faster it will burn out, right? So this stream tonight was all about letting the fire burn out on its own, and it's going to come back to that same concept with your question there. Of course, it takes practice. I don't expect anyone to just run away with it, you know, day one, but understand that it's in the title. It speaks for itself, right? Fight or flight, and you're kind of, you know, in the flight mode. So it's uncomfortable to sit with, but the more you practice being comfortable with the discomfort, right? Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It'll become more natural to sit with it. It'll become more natural over time. Of course, again, this is not something you're used to, so I don't expect you to be perfect at it right away. Try to drop all of your labels of it. Try to drop any sort of negative labels that you've attached to it, and let the fire burn out. Let the fire burn out on its own. Because it will. It may not feel like it will in the moment, but it definitely will. It will, it will. It will, it will. I mean, for the longest time, you know, you've probably fought it off or had some sort of negative label attached to it. So it's understandable that you're not entirely comfortable with it right now. But the longer you sit with it and practice sitting with it, the more you'll just kind of grow to expect it, and it kind of loses its oomph, right? It doesn't really have much of a punch to it anymore. But I hope that helped. Hope that answer helped you out. Tony, what's up, dude? How you been, Tony? Hope you're doing great. Alright guys, ladies and gents, chat's starting to slow down a little bit. We're past that 1 hour mark. We're going to go ahead and start to wind it down a little bit here. We're going to get our song ready to go, of course. Always got to get our song ready. Let's see where that's at. Anyway, before we get to that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for an excellent, awesome, amazing stream. Honestly, probably one of our best as far as the point of the stream goes. I hope it motivated somebody. I hope somebody made some realizations tonight so that you can truly start to face that anxiety and really break out of this cycle. I believe in you. The community's got your back. I got your back. If you did enjoy tonight's stream, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. I would truly, truly appreciate it. Truly, from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. Again, thank you so much for everything. And I believe that's all I've got to say. Just thank you. You're awesome. You're amazing. And I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.
I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own it die, yeah. Did it die. Did it die. I'm
Thank you, Charles, for the $2 tip, dude. I appreciate you. Thank you,
got
thank
my
you.
own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't, of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait. Did it die? Wait. Did it die?